Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining our Colorado Spirit team today. Just a reminder of who we are. We're community members here helping other community members. We're just trying to help you navigate the stress of the pandemic, get individuals connected to resources when necessary. All of our resources, all of our services are at no cost to you, completely confidential. If you're struggling, just need someone to talk to, or just need a safe space, reach out to us. Call our warm line. That's 970 347 2359. You can also email our team at colorado.spirit@northrange.org. So Renee, we talk about this all the time on our team when looking at the impact of this pandemic. We're talking about everyone. We've all been impacted in some way. And one of the many groups out there struggling right now are families. And so today we'd like to kick off the first part of our family resiliency series. So to begin, I will let you all know my name is Shauna. I am the team lead of our program.
And I'm Renee, I'm the child specialist.
Yes, and so resilience, I think that's a word being brought up and talked about a lot right now. But Renee, help us frame it. What do we mean when talking about family resiliency?
So, family resilience, some individuals view family resilience as weathering a storm through a difficult time within a family unit. But Dr. Walsh is a respected expert within her profession and indicates that it's not just weathering the storm during a difficult time within a family unit, it's having beliefs, organization, and communication that create a strong family. So, in some ways, you're being proactive for when the storm comes. We know just from life that we all have trials, we all have struggles. There's, you know, those things are inevitable. This is kind of some uncertain times that have created some unique stressors for families. And so we're going to continue talking about what family resilience is. And in our next series, in the second part of our series, I'm going to be sharing some ideas and some practical things that you all can implement in your family to just kind of support the family unit and get through these times and have a stronger family.
Awesome. Very important stuff right now, because you're absolutely right. A lot of things are uncertain. Um, so I heard beliefs, organization, and communication. A couple of those sound tricky, but I'm sure you will help put those into perspective for us. But just to start off, Renee, when talking about beliefs, what does that mean in the realm of family resiliency?
Yeah, sure, Shauna. I'm so glad you asked. Now, beliefs typically are shared within a family unit, and it may include what what are the beliefs of your family? What are the rules of your family? What is the attitude of your family? And what faith or spiritual belief does the family have that gives it a greater purpose? We see this a lot in different religions and different places of worship, those types of things that kind of give the family a greater purpose. And that is, we kind of sometimes, I think about sometimes families have a mission statement, you know, Smith missions, Smith family mission statement. And then our next Facebook Live for this, we'll be sharing some examples of those.
Awesome. Thank you. Now, that brings us to our first tricky one, organization. And I will tell you, as a parent myself, organized is not really the word I think about to describe every facet of myself. But that may not be what it means in terms of building this family resiliency. So talk a little bit about the organization piece for family resilience.
excuse me. The organization piece, with organization, families need connectedness, flexibility, and network. Those are the three key components of organization. So connectedness is mutual support within the family structure. I often think about an airplane ride. You are going to put on the oxygen mask for yourself first, then help your child. And in our current situation, that is very appropriate. It's going to be difficult to help your child if you yourself are having a hard time. And so that's one of the reasons we are here to support you and your kids. The other component is, I think about with organization, is the day-to-day operations of the family. Who does what? Who, how does each family member engage and participate in keeping the family going? So that can mean chores. That can mean who makes dinner, who's helping with laundry, who's getting kids to appointments or activities, if there is any. Who's
Yeah.
responsible for knowing what activities are happening, what's been canceled, postponed, those types of things. And then we also, with organization, need flexibility. Right now, everybody's being flexible. I told my family, I am not a gymnast, but I am doing backflips, right? And so you think about, we don't even know from one week to the next if the kids are going to be at home learning or at school.
Right.
So that requires a level of flexibility as well. And being willing to jump in if there's been a schedule change and now one parent's working from home when they didn't do that before. And we need, you know, two kids used to share a room and now three kids are sharing a room because dad needs an office. Those types of things are happening. So that requires a level of flexibility. And then that network piece is so important. So we at North Range are part of your network. You can contact our ward line to for our specific program to receive just a listening ear, some ideas, some strategies, some coping tools for support for your family. And then that might also include if you're in a mom's group and you can share the stressors and be relatable to other people, because all of us are have struggled or are struggling with something related to the global pandemic that we're all persevering through. And that other piece is if you have a place of worship or a Bible study, connect with the other adults, connect your kids if you can, with, obviously complying with being safe and healthy and responsible with that if you do choose to interact with others in an appropriate way. So there are many components to it, and one is related to the other. And at the end of the day, really supports and lifts up. And we all need lifted up.
That's so true, Renee, right now. That's so true. Um, and that leads us directly into that other somewhat tricky word, communication. We know it's important um, in every other facet. Talk a little bit about how this communication piece is so important and different when talking about being a resilient family.
So when I think about communication, I think about how we communicate first. Um, we know from our culture that by technology is very relevant. And so I think by sending a text message, there's opportunity for miscommunication. And that can create other, maybe a family squabble or hurt feelings or misunderstandings or, just miscommunication in general. And so it's very important to be clear with your communication, clear to where everyone can understand what you're conveying. And so if it's, I might say, I need the laundry moved. I need the towels in the washer moved to the dryer. Well, my family might hear me versus me directly saying to someone specifically, I need you to please move the towels from the washer to the dryer. Okay, so being very clear. Also, including those emotions. Kids, especially, are confused. Some kids haven't yet developed cognitively in a to a place where they can express what they're feeling or even know what emotion they're feeling. And so modeling emotions using I feel statements. I feel frustrated that the restaurants are closed. Empathize, validate those feelings, and then problem solve. Yep, you're right. Once every 2 weeks, we have gone out to dinner as a family. That's how we've operated for a very long time. Now the restaurants are closed. How can we problem solve? So let's communicate. Well, these restaurants are open for delivery and these restaurants are open for takeout. So we can get something and bring it to the house, or maybe if it's a nice day, have a picnic outside. So it really is clear. You want to be clear communication, you want to communicate your emotions and problem solve with collaborating, right? So all of those things kind of link back to flexibility, they link back to organization. And it's so important right now, especially, I think we all have been impacted in some way with what's these uncertain times. And especially if you have kids in school, especially because you're working from home, you're trying to, become the tech support for your kid because the computer isn't working or things like that. And so I think that it's really appropriate to validate the feelings that your kids are having, but also model what you're feeling. You know, it's okay to say, you know what, buddy, you know what, son, I too am very frustrated that we had to cancel our family vacation, or there's big things and smaller things. And I think that, you know, it just is a really hard time. But if we can do these few things, and the next Facebook Live part to our series, I'm going to be giving some examples of things that you can implement in your home and in your family to be more resilient and weather the storm and then be stronger moving forward.
Awesome. Yes, thank you, Renee. I will just put this out there as a visual learner. I too am looking forward to part 2. Just put some tips and tricks to this beliefs, organization, and communication piece when talking about family resiliency. So thank you so much, Renee. Again, if you are out there, if you're a family, if you're an individual, if you're struggling, if you just need someone to talk to, we're here at no cost. It's confidential. Call our warm line. Again, that number is 970-347-2359. We also hope that you join us next week, Thursday, same time. We're going to talk about some fun and free activities for the household. So we hope to see you next week. Thank you all for joining us.
Have a great
Bye,
day.
everyone.